Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's House, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well, and happy Thanksgiving. I thought of no better way to bring in this lovely holiday than with my good friend John Moynihan from the Firehouse Performing Center for the Arts. How are you, sir?
Gobble, gobble. Doing great. How are you doing today, Drew?
Are we going to chalk this up as your November appearance, just in the nick of time?
I guess that'll be it, yeah.
Yeah, we try to get John on like every month because, well, just, we like him.
And I like being here, and I like Drew. He's a good guy.
That's me.
Yeah.
It's talking about me there. So all right. What do you do for Thanksgiving? What's the, what are the...
So we used to go to my parents' house, but now we go down to my sister's house in Westboro.
Awesome.
Is where we end up. So the whole family down there.
You there till Sunday?
It's Thursday.
You're there till Sunday.
Oh, there till Sunday. No. Gosh, no. I'm like, no, Drew, today's Thursday.
Thanksgiving's falling on a Thursday?
I know. Same as every year. Same as every year. Yeah, no, we stay, because we have 3 dogs at home too. So,
Gotcha.
we kind of drive back and forth. So we go down for the day, have just the right amount of family time, and then head back up.
Beautiful. Favorite Thanksgiving food?
So being a vegetarian tends to be sometimes of a challenge. But I've always been a big fan of cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Growing up, always a big fan of that. But now...
It's funny how people consider that a food. It's like the only time that sauce is okay to be a food.
Well, because it's not sauce in your traditional, like, goopy... Well, I guess it depends on which... If you're doing traditional cranberry sauce, it is. But I'm talking about, like, the ocean spray, can. You drop it out. And
you prefer that, right?
I do.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
It's like pure sugar, and, I need that to get me through the 75 football games they now have on those days. But now, the past couple of years, I've made a very delightful seitan roll.
Wow.
Yeah. So you put all like herbs and spices in it. You roll it up and you bake it. It's like a roast.
How lovely.
Roast.
Do you this morning? Have you ever done like the Newburyport football games?
No, because I don't. I mean, I love Newburyport. I love working here, and I love being here.
You could have just said no, and we could have moved on.
I know. No. I want people who listen to this know.
No, I
love Newburyport. It's just I came at a time where Newburyport housing prices were skyrocketing, and which is great for Newburyport. It's great for the tax base, being able to keep those everything down. And it's great for arts and culture, because arts and culture helps drive home values.
Wow, what a little thing you spun yourself into there. That was nice.
Fixed it.
Yeah. It's fantastic. But you already told me, you hinted at it with the football games. You do what we all do. We eat all day and watch football.
Well, watch at least the first quarter of one game, and then maybe make it to like the fourth quarter of the second game by the time you wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. That tryptophan's a real thing, isn't it?
Well, I don't know anymore.
True. God, dude, there's no vegetarian tryptophan?
I'm sure there is, and I'm sure you can like put it in there to get the same feeling, like the same way you do with like the non-alcoholic beers, or you want to be at the table. And
how long you been a vegetarian for now?
I've been married 10 years, so I don't know, 11, 12
Wife
years.
Got you into it? Wife is it?
Yeah, so I was eating meat when I was all throughout like my life and all through growing up. And
every day, I'd have meat 6 times a day.
Every day, as much meat as I could have. But when we moved back from New York, when she was pregnant, we were similar to now, living about 40 minutes away from where I was working, and so getting home at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, she was very kind to sometimes make things for me. And she's been a vegetarian for, like 25 years at this point. And so I felt badly being like, hey, do you mind throwing that bleeding steak onto the oven for me, or onto this? So, I started kind of shifting that, and then there's a James Cromwell video, and the soothing voice of James Cromwell letting you know of some of the things that happen to animals. We kind of shifted my perspective, point of view. So, to that end, many people in my family are still meat eaters. I am not one of those people who is like, how dare you? Do you know what they do to these things? To each their own. Everyone sort of makes their own decision. Like, we don't force our kids to be vegetarians.
Right.
Our kids eat meat. I make them turkey sandwiches, and I do stuff like that. So everyone gets to make their own choice in that regard.
Nice.
The one that we made.
I did that I was never a vegetarian, but I did try to make strides, with other people in my life too, because I was same deal. Especially in COVID, I started watching a lot of those documentaries, and there's a lot. I mean, there's Food a lot. Inc. Yeah, there's a lot to learn, right?
Yeah.
And they're all fast. Most of them are really well done, as you know, being in the arts. Some of those documentaries are top notch.
Yeah, of course.
But like it's the climate change thing. That's like the biggest impact is the the farming and the the meat industry,
right?
And it's people don't really realize that.
Yeah, because everything is intertwined. When they're like, for example, we can talk about sort of what happened this spring/summer with like some local farms and some local areas. Like they Tendercrop didn't do Colby farmer rather, didn't do their sunflowers because of like a late frost. Didn't allow the seeds to grow. The Smolak farms, there's a peach festival every August. In mid-March, we had like that one night where it dipped and froze, screwed their entire peach crop for the entire year. So it's real. Like the weather affects things more than you even think about. Like, if something can't grow, then something can't be fed to an animal, and something's gonna change.
And all that crap that we feed the animals that we eventually eat.
Well,
like
right.
I think I remember one of those documentaries saying we could feed the planet on the crap that we feed the animals to get them to. And it's that was kind of stunning to me. That it was like, well, that's gross,
right.
And not very humane. And so yeah, I didn't do red meat for 3 years.
Nice, congratulations.
That was the little step I made. I wasn't like it wasn't even that big of a sacrifice. I don't go out and order a steak.
I'll have the ribeye, please.
Filet mignon. No,
yeah.
I never did that.
Ribeye, it's so small. Ribeye's always big.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Cheesesteak. I used to like a cheesesteak. That was always a thing for me. But I just replaced that with a chicken finger sub, and I rationalized. For me, there was a difference. And I know people. I try not to say this usually on the air, but I'm going to today on this Thanksgiving because we're talking about food. But like it's because a chicken, I think it's factual that they don't have like the brains. Like,
sure.
It's it's not.
Sure.
But I look at a cow.
Yep.
And I see like my dog.
Right.
There's feelings.
Its eyes are crying
Oh,
at you.
yeah.
I know.
I don't know. And maybe a chicken has that too, and I really need to be better about that and just go vegetarian with you. But that was a sacrifice I made because I do think about that now every time I see that. I don't. Yeah.
Those big brown eyes
I know.
staring into your
They're lovely animals.
Soul.
My hound dog happens to look like a cow too.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I used to have I still have a cousin, but my cousin's nephew used to be younger. And every time I would say, my dog is Henry, looks like a cow, I would say, what noise does Henry make? And he would go, moo.
That's awesome. I like that. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it was fun.
That is great.
One story. So that's the food portion of our show.
Well, no, but there was something else I was going to say. I was going to say about that. Now I can't.
Climate change, cows, farming,
chickens. Oh yeah, chicken fingers. Why do we call them chicken fingers? Chickens don't have fingers.
That's a good point.
They're chicken wings.
Because of they're long and they don't
they don't look like fingers. It's just like a funny thing that we refer to those as chicken fingers.
Why wouldn't we call them like a chicken strip?
Right. Well, I think some people do.
Do they?
I think they do now. I think they're called chicken strips now. But
I don't know. I see fingers in most of these places.
But it's very interesting. It's a very interesting thing that
Yeah. Not that we want all you thinking about this over your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your day.
Enjoy your day. Enjoy your turkey. Enjoy the family time.
But it's good to know these things.
It is good to know these things. And then when you're done enjoying your family time, you should come to the Firehouse because we got things going on all weekend.
Oh.
It's the closing weekend of $1 Million Quartet.
This is a busy weekend for you.
It is a busy weekend. It's the closing weekend of $1 Million Quartet. We've been running for 2 weeks.
Man.
It's been really great. The closing weekend. And then we go right into next week. We go right into Joppa Dance.
Wow.
So they're doing their... it's a Peter Pan inspired Neverland winter. I think it's winter Neverland, which is really great. And then Theater in the Open, and then Martin Sexton. We have a lot of really great holiday programming.
Nice, great time to see shows. I think
absolutely
in between those holidays, a lot of people have random off time. Not random; it's planned in between the holidays. But there are people tend to take extra days.
Right.
Kind of families tends to be around. There's I don't know. I've always liked that. It's a good time to see shows, and it's cozy.
It is, and the Firehouse is such a cozy, intimate space to be able to see some of these, things. And like I said, there's so much holiday programming that we have going on, more than we have historically done. We have a Frank Sinatra Christmas. Deep Blue Sea Studio Orchestra is coming to do a holiday show. The Sweetback Sisters are coming back for the first time in a few years.
Nice.
So there's just a lot going on. And then we're ending the year, which you and I have talked about off air. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the show that closing out the year, we have a little bit of a '90s rewind. The music of our youth, Drew, with Blessed Union of Souls and Fastball coming up on the Friday, Saturday before New Year's.
Was I out of my head? Was I out of my mind? How could I have ever been so blind? We did that in public once. The first time he told me that.
It was a couple weeks ago, and there were 100% people looking at us. But you know what?
Yep.
That's life in the arts, baby.
John goes, I don't think the table in the corner likes us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all looked, and they gave us a stink eye, and they confirmed, in fact, they did not like us.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your clam chowder.
Yes, when you're in a restaurant below a theatrical venue, what do you anticipate? What do you expect besides random singing from time to time?
You can have a lovely whole night. You do it in Newburyport. You can go out in Newburyport for dinner. Go to the firehouse.
You can.
You can. So the world is your oyster.
Not only that, with many of the restaurants downtown, if you visit our website firehouse.org and go to any of our event pages, there's a little link on there that talks about our restaurant discount initiative. So if you go grab some food from some of these places, they will, if they still have the cards, we need to replace them. We need to refill some of them. But they'll give you a little business card with a code on it that will give you $5 off your next ticket at a firehouse show.
How about that?
I know.
I don't think I ever knew that.
I know.
Things you learn on the show.
New things we're trying.
How new is that?
New enough.
New enough.
But not new enough that I shouldn't have mentioned it before.
Okay. I have dropped the ball a couple times on this. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, good.
We're going to cut that out.
Maeve Power doing the show as always today. Maeve has been great here over the last, what has it been, Maeve? A year? You've been here for a while. When did you meet Maeve? Was that 6 months ago?
No, at least.
You have no idea.
I have no
You have
idea.
worse reference for time than I do.
I don't know. It's got to be at least 4 or 5 years ago.
John would have agreed to any time frame I just said right there.
When did you meet Maeve? In 2015? I think that's probably about right.
Yes, she was 7. That's about right. She was producing this show. Oh,
that's right. Funny. We have 15-year-olds running ones and twos.
On this Thanksgiving.
Just kidding.
Yeah, well, it's a young crew. They do amazing work, but they are young. On this Thanksgiving, I will say I'm grateful to Maeve for putting this show together so well.
Yes.
Thrown
Likewise.
into it. I'm not even sure she signed up for it. She just worked here, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you."
By the way,
this guy comes in and does this show.
Remember where it says other duties as assigned?
Yes.
This is it.
Yeah, there was a star next to it. It was supposed to draw your attention to it.
What actually was when he says star, he means it was his picture.
Yes.
Next to it.
That's right. Yeah, I meant like a star, but now you're right. It was just a picture of Drew. These are the other duties. It's very difficult. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Maeve. And Sarah Hayden and the rest of the crew. Maya Gassman. Maya's parents. Did you see that little show or the video we did? Of course you didn't.
Of course. Love it.
They're sailing to Antigua for a year.
They are?
Yeah.
That's
they left right
awesome.
here. Maya comes in and she tells me she's going to be late. For work, and I don't care, whatever.
Oh, right.
But she kind of hustled in, and she was looking like she'd been running.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's going on?" And she goes, "Oh no, sorry, I'm late. I just my parents are sailing to Antigua, and I'm not gonna, they're going away for a year, and they're living on a boat for a while, doing some hiking." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, they're leaving right now." I was like, "From where?" Like right at the end of the street, Newburyport. I was like, "No, they just left you?" "Well, no, they're leaving, but I had to get here for work." It's like they're still there.
Maya, way to bury the lead,
So
Maya.
Maya and I both ran down to the docks. We did a little story on them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Quit the jobs, leaving the jobs behind for a while, and just doing the thing. So
that's amazing. I mean, to be able to do that, to be able to have that sort of opportunity, is something I think we can all aspire to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think, honestly, don't think I could do it.
You mean be away for a year or not work for a year? Or...
Oh, I could do that part.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That part's good.
Okay.
But that is, we were talking about that at work the other day. People that are like, if you, I think it was maybe a Mega Millions talk. If you won the lottery, those people that say, I'd keep working because yada, yada, yada. You know what it was? When Kevin Carlson at ZLX, he passed away recently. Suddenly. Great guy, by the way. I haven't mentioned that on this show, but I've worked with Kevin for many years, and he was very good to me. If anybody watches the Carlson and Mackenzie and Heather show on WZLX, but he's a Boston radio legend, and passed away in his sleep at like mid-50s, and horrible. Place has been down for a month or so. But anyway, I guess I'm thinking of him on this Thanksgiving too, and his family. That's going to be tough. But he would say that I'm going to work until the end of time.
Yep.
Like I would never stop.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I would. Like I'm not a guy. I enjoy my job.
Right.
I get up every morning. I enjoy going and everything, but I also enjoy golf.
Right, of course. Of course.
Concerts.
Yeah, all those things. You could travel everywhere to see anybody at any time.
Yeah. Like right now.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the E Street Band. That seems like a good tour to follow.
Well, I mean, there is no tour, so.
Not right now. I knew
Hey-o.
you were going to say that. See, you're too good. Anybody else that would have been fine to get by. Yes, they're on break because Bruce is sick. He's fine. He'll be back. Were you going to say you play golf too?
No, gosh, no, I'm terrible. I am terrible.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think in in a perfect world, people would be able to take some time off. I think we've all been so I guess trained that they and I think COVID did a lot to sort of like shift some of that mindset.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we would need to find some sort of other purpose. So whether it may not be the same type of work that we're doing, we're working for somebody else, but I do think that there'd be probably a time where you'd want to be doing something for somebody or helping out in a different way. I think you just find a different avenue for it, but it wouldn't be the same sort of thing that you're doing now.
You couldn't just party all the time.
Not only that, I mean, I definitely think for like the first couple of weeks, I would just like sleep.
Yeah.
That for me, I think would be the.
I'd try. I'd fail.
To catch up.
I'm a bad sleeper. That's a holiday goal of mine.
Okay.
Is to try to get myself I get some time off around Christmas especially. I'm going to try to like just get into a good sleeping routine when I don't have to be up in the morning. And I think it's important, especially as you get older.
Yeah.
One
of my both a blessing and a curse is I can probably sleep anywhere. Which is great. It works. It works to my benefit. Except sometimes like tired while driving.
Yeah.
I can sleep anywhere.
That is scary.
It is. And so I mean, multiple times I've had to drive, had to pull over and make sure that I'm good. But there was actually, speaking of that, there was a whole article that just came out very recently that talked about a lot of like teens admit to driving while drowsy. And just how much more dangerous that is than like driving well under the influence. Yeah. Because you have even less control over sort of what you're.
We don't condone any of it.
Of course, no condone neither of those things. But it's just like it's such like an interesting.
Yes.
Such an interesting thing, and it's something we always need to sort of be cognizant of. One thing that I think you and I have talked about is just like the student today.
Yeah.
Maybe we have. I can't remember. Maybe we haven't. I just a lot of times I'm in with my kids and what they're working on and working towards. Like sometimes it can feel like a lot of these students feel like they're overworked and they're doing so much. They have to do all of this and they have to do all these sports and all the extracurriculars in order. There's so much pressure on them to do all these different things so they can get into a good college to do. To do what? So I just think that I think that's something that I'm thankful for. Is that I'm not a student. No, I'm kidding.
Well, and there's life pressures too. I see all these kids. They're all. I don't know about your kids. I don't know what your rules are, but they all have phones. It seems like they're all
right. And so like that's something that it is. It is such a different. It's such a challenge to navigate. Nowadays, in terms of what you do allow your kids to have and what sort of the. What they see and what they what they're exposed to, because you can try to limit it as much as you can, but even those limits have limitations. So
it's funny you mentioned the traffic thing, because it's actually a good story to talk about on Thanksgiving, because it's a big weekend for college kids come home, and there is a lot of partying, a lot of going out. All my friends always got together night after Thanksgiving, or was it the night before? I can't remember.
It's usually the night before.
Night before, yeah. But it is a busy.
Then we all go to the game in the morning.
In the morning, yeah, that's right, yeah. But it is, in general, it is a busy weekend, even after most people are home and have those days. But I did a story recently in Boston on the highway deaths nationally being way down over the last decade, and it was it's fantastic, highway deaths are down. Credit all this car and technology and all that stuff, all great. We got a call from the local AAA. I'm not even joking you. They heard us do that story with that angle, and they said, we heard the story. It's all great. They are the correct numbers we pulled for them. That being said, there's another angle to that story, that the deaths are actually up.
Because for a year and a half we couldn't go anywhere.
Well, it's not even because of well, maybe it ties into that a little bit actually, but it's actually yes, there is a little bit of that, I think. But even we went a decade, so it's also those other years. But they said the highway deaths, okay, sure, but most deaths of kids at that younger age don't happen on highways.
Right.
It's rural roads. It's windy roads. And it's like that. So yes, that is a slant, and there's reasons why, technology, highways, cars, you start beeping when you cross lines, and there's more police on highways and all that stuff. Like, so all that stuff, but they were genuinely, I wouldn't say upset is the word, but they genuinely wanted to represent those numbers in a different way.
Right.
And if you really look at it, and it was here in Massachusetts particularly, where it was up over the last 10 years. So.
Right. And it is, because as a friend of mine wrote, this is it's a bit of a non sequitur, but it ties in.
I like it when you do that.
Yeah, he wrote a play about statistics and the way just how fungible, he uses the word, how fungible they are. You can twist a statistic to say anything you want it to say, to get your point across. So that, to that angle, the story that you were telling wasn't factually incorrect,
right?
But it wasn't, and there's nothing wrong with what was being told, but it didn't necessarily paint the whole picture,
right?
And I think we do live in a society now where that's a lot of what it is. People cherry pick what they want to get their angle and to tell their story, and that is something that we need to. That is something that I tell my kids when they're watching like YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's like, no, so and so really did do this. I was like, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
Like if this person who says they have like this $1,500 shopping spree to go do something, that's because they are being promoted by this company, and that company is giving them $1,500 to do this. It's not like they have it out of their pockets. That they're doing it. So it's just like, it's like even stuff like that. They learn at such a young age, and it's insane, the sort of like manipulations that can happen. Anyways, Thanksgiving, we're all very thankful. But at the same time, like I am very thankful for where we, the region that we live in. And more than anything, to kind of tie it back to the firehouse and things like that. I'm thankful to have that opportunity. I'm thankful to be here in Newburyport, and I'm thankful to be able to bring shows that are not necessarily things that people would even think about having here 10, 15 years ago, whether it's the sort of music that we have coming, or even the larger sort of theatrical productions that we have coming. I mean, we are so lucky, and I'm so grateful to be able to provide those opportunities, and I want to be able to and I want to ensure that my kids and grandkids have those same opportunities to be able to go see live performance. So support your live performance venues.
That's a great one. The one story I like about you is I was there one night, and I think maybe if you know you well enough, people kind of realize this, but you're a hard worker over there. And I get the impression...
I have a good team.
And like most places these days, I get the impression, though, it's not a massive team. Like, it's like a lot of people that work hard over there.
Yes, I'm very lucky.
Like everywhere, right? Everybody's doing more than they were 10 years ago. But the one story I remember from you is you were up, there was a good show going on. I ran up to say hello to you, and you're dealing with meet and greeting and all that stuff. And I got in line and did my thing. No, I pushed ahead.
I said, remember that star next to my name?
Right. Oh God. But we were talking to him there, and he goes, and you said, like, some of these nights I don't even get to see some of the artists that I like and that I brought in here just because it gets so busy. Yeah. And I was like, that is cool though, because it's like you can tell you're just happy that everybody's coming together, and like it's it's just, that's a reward of the job to you. You don't. Absolutely. I'm sure you'd love to sit back and put your feet up for a few minutes and go watch 20 minutes of Martin Sexton coming up in December, but maybe that's a busy night and it gets tough to do that.
Well, no, that's and honestly, that's a lot. That was a big thing that drove me into this side of the arts. Is I went to school to be on the stage, and then as I was growing into it, what I realized was that exactly what you just said. Yeah. Being there and seeing all those people there and seeing the smiles on their faces and knowing, even if they don't know who I am and know that I don't think I have anything to do with it. Yeah. Like being able to be that space where all those people can come together and have that experience. Yeah. It's incredibly rewarding. It's incredibly rewarding.
So you just gander from the top sometimes and go.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, honestly, we had Shamika Copeland a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw the videos of that. It looked great.
Oh my gosh, she was awesome. Yeah. She was awesome. And so but seeing that 190 people standing up for her at the at the end of the night, and just like really into it, and like that's to me, that's what it's all about. The human experience. We don't get enough of that nowadays. So being able to be that gathering space, I think is something that I'm grateful for.
You want one more positive John Moynihan story?
Oh, please.
Please stop. The one of our mutual friends, I know we're talking about Jay Pissarro's played like a month ago.
Yeah.
Played your spot, and he was very grateful for the opportunity, because he's like, I can go across the country and open for big acts, and that's a comfort zone for me. But like with me and my band, it's like I'm South Shore, and I'm very South Shore. Like I don't travel across the country with my band. I'm not, people kind of start to know my stuff, but it's not like that. So it's like for people to give me the opportunity to play their place as a headliner, and it's like it's not always the easiest thing to find in a room that you want to be in, like that mutual relationship. And he was just very honored to have the chance to play there, and he was South Shore boy, plays the North Shore, and he has a great night. He was just like, I don't know, it's like because the people that book you, he said, kind of have to have faith in you, not only for this show, but like they like you in general. They think this is somebody who's got it, He
does, and Jay's been touring for forever, and he doesn't he tours like Three Dog Night America, like he does.
Collective Soul,
yes.
They're gonna be at Fenway, did I just see?
Was it Fenway? I know they're touring with
Hootie, right?
Yeah, Hootie.
It's Fenway.
Is it Fenway?
It's Fenway.
Yeah, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Hootie and Collective Soul, and I think it was a Tonic that I think they're going with.
Yeah,
too.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So either way, it's gonna be a fan. Or is it Jim Blossoms?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I can't remember. Either way.
It might be. Is it all of them? It all sounded right.
I don't know. Well, that's because Jim Blossoms, Sugar Ray, Tonic, and Fastball were all touring together for a while.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, that's I know, right? But that's gonna be an awesome thing. But to the point about Jay, I had somebody similar to Jay come in May, and we were talking about the fact that we had Judy Collins coming at the end of June, and it was like, it's so exciting. It's gonna be great. And he said something that has like stuck with me, and I tried, and it's something that I mentioned to Jay, and I think is like super important, is that there's going to become a time where these superstars like your Bruce Springsteens that they're not going to be touring anymore. They're not going to be doing it.
No, that's not true.
So I mean, you're probably right. Yeah. He would be the one that would be like on the stage and be like, well, this is literally my final song.
Sorry.
Anyways, but those folks that are grinding right now, they're the next wave. They're going to be that next group of people that for the next 40, 50 years are going to be the ones touring. So learn about them now in your local venues, so that when they make it big, you can say, I remember seeing them there, love to see if they can get them back.
That's so cool, isn't it? I have so many bands like that. I think back to like college days that I saw, and I was like, I really like them, and now I'm like, what? You all can't like them at Fenway?
Right? I saw, this may be it may raise some I don't know.
Look at you with a little hesitancy.
Well, I couldn't think of the right word I wanted to use. But I saw Maroon 5 so it's not a bad one. But I saw Maroon 5 at UNH at the Field House. There's like 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
Now they're selling stadiums and and stuff like that. I saw Jurassic 5 before they blew up. So it's like interesting. I saw Ben Folds toured there before he, now he's doing. I mean, he's still doing like that sort of vibe, like the 2,000, 3,000 seat venue. But he's phenomenal.
Kings of Leon for me. I saw it at Providence, little club.
Awesome.
I was like, these guys are great. Yeah. And I was like, a year later.
There's actually a very funny story, if there is anything. So there's a band that used to open for mine and your favorite group, Hanson.
Yes. Yes.
That opened for them, and they shared a bill where they were the headliner, and you'll never guess who the opening act was. This is probably 10, 15 years ago.
Who would open for Hanson?
Not for Hanson. For Hanson's opener.
Right. Okay.
So they opened for Hanson's opener.
They opened for Hanson's opener.
Yeah.
And I know.
And they're huge now.
Huge now.
Actually, I think they may have just played Fenway.
How long can we go with dead air while I think about this? Because I love these games.
I know.
All right,
I don't know. Dip your toe in the water.
Who was it?
Dip your toe in.
Oh.
You know what that is? You know
No.
what I'm talking about? The Toes, Zach Brown Band.
Oh, Zach
Brown
Brown.
Band was
No
like
kidding.
this little club.
No, Toes in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Sand.
So they posted this thing like, oh, I can't believe this was 15 years ago. Look at that opening act. It was Zach Brown Band that was opening for this.
Speaking of Fenway, he plays there three times a year now.
Say. Yeah, so
okay,
he just played there.
You roped it all together. Good job.
So
yeah, is that the one he did with Jimmy Buffett, or is that Chesney? He did a song with Buffett too.
Zach Brown did. So I mean, they all did. At
Yeah.
one point. He did like a whole.
Isn't Toes in the Water a duet though? Not a worry in the world, a cold beer in my hand.
I don't know if he may have done that one as a duet later on, but it's not originally a duet.
No,
not originally.
Yeah.
But
he's good. I liked him right away. Zach Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like him. I'm not saying I don't like him. I'd love to have you on the show.
Come on, ZB.
Zach Brown Band. Do this show. Do the Firehouse Double Dip.
Tickets are $400,000 per.
He's opening for Chesney next summer. Do you see that?
No, I didn't.
They're doing like a kind of a. It feels like a country fest rebuild sort of thing to me. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised though. I'm guessing Fenway just didn't line up because it seemed like they got a real comfort zone with Fenway for many years there.
Yeah, but they've also play up at
Guilford.
Guilford, they played 3 nights there.
Yeah,
you know, like that's that area of New Hampshire is very country, and they very much enjoy that.
That's a great venue though.
It's a beautiful venue.
I love it there.
I do too. I didn't go see our usual band there. I didn't go see Dave there. I think I told you I saw Counting Crows there this past summer.
Yep. Love the Counting Crows.
It was great.
You'd fit in great with our Dave crew. You haven't really hung with our Dave crew.
I haven't hung with the Dave
crew. And there's a lot of Counting Crows overlap there too.
Okay.
One of my buddies.
Are we saying Dave 24? Is that where?
Yeah.
Am I going to come in?
It's already booked.
Can I come as part of your Dave crew?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have tickets or a room, but it's booked in our heads.
Okay.
We'll put you in.
Okay,
sure.
Cool.
But yeah, we did it Guilford last year. We did 2 nights. It was awesome. Yep. It was great. And actually, the Counting Crows conversation came up. And one of my buddies.
Oh, that's right, because it was like the night before.
Yeah.
That's right. The Counting Crows
they were on the same week. It was a busy week, yeah. I remember one of my buddies called me up I was talking about the Crows. He goes, I'm like a diehard. And I said, I'm a diehard. And we started having a little stare down. And he goes, I don't think you realize, Drew. I don't think you realize how big of a diehard.
Sarah says we're talking too much.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about her. It's Thanksgiving, Sarah.
Thanksgiving, Sarah. Why are you here?
But
it's Thanksgiving Day.
I started dropping words, songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, fine, you're in the Crows Club now. I had to earn it.
That's funny.
Alex, Anthony.
Oh, yes.
That's who it was.
I'll send you an email. You'll get it.
Really? Really? Getting some work done on Thanksgiving, are you? Very nice. John Moynihan, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thanksgiving. You want to say Happy Thanksgiving to anybody?
Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble.
That's a good ending. Live at Drew's house. Joppa Afternoon Drive. Thanks to my team, Maeve, Sarah, Maya, Ryan. Thank you all. You guys are the best. That's what we're grateful for. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody, and a great weekend. We'll see you soon.